Um, Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I'm Gunasekara, a PhD student from University of Campania in Italy. I would like to present a re-evaluation of the paleodemographic profile of living population in detailed documentation of human skulls in Pompeii. Sorry, I'm trying to enlarge it a bit, but unfortunately.
Oh, it's plenty big. At least for us.
Sorry?
We can see the slides perfectly.
Oh, okay. Okay. The site of Pompeii is one of the most iconic archaeological sites in the world because of the way of its destruction and the preservation. The ongoing PhD research investigates human skulls and dental remains, which are stored in warehouses in Pompeii, to reconstruct paleodemography, paleopathology as the first part of this study, and comparison between dental analysis and isotopic related diet will be the second part. Pompeii was an ancient Roman city in Campania region in Italy, which was destroyed by Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. Ancient literary resources rarely mention the history of Pompeii before 1st century BC, but later it became a place to luxury Roman villas and residences. The urban context is unique because of the preservation of its inhabitants and their lives in a certain kind of time capsule created unique opportunity to study a well-preserved living population which was destroyed in a certain kind of moment by a catastrophic event, which is a rare moment in world history. So the population is different from a population from an attritional or catastrophic cemetery, because according to some of the scholars, non-selective population creates better grounds for demographic studies, which is different from an ordinary mortality profile. When we consider about the previous studies in the collection, the first study on the collection was conducted by Stefano della Chie in 1853. But most of the anthropologists in early 90s, they studied skulls, which were considered as the most important part of the skeleton. And later, some of the scholars like Hindenburg, Stellazar, they conducted fewer researchers based on the on this collection, and they managed to change some of the established popular opinions about this population. But still, the Pompeii Archaeological Park has no data concerning the osteological collection. There's no recorded data, or there's no any protection. Because of that, this documentation is really important to reorder and catalog this osteological collection to study this unique biological heritage in deeply. So the important thing is like why I selected skulls for this this study, because all the skeleton remains which are stored in warehouses are divided according to anatomical distinct. Because of that, I selected skulls as the initial form for creating the framework for demographic study in Pompeii, which exclude caste. The size of the population in 79 AD is between 6,000 to 30,000. Most of these scholars counted these numbers according to the spaces in amphitheater or the houses. But still, the actual size of the population at the time of the eruption is an unsolved task, and the number of survivors and the victims are still under the discussion. More than 1,000 victims have been uncovered so far from the excavation since 1748, and 90 casts have been created, but 1/3 of the site yet to be excavated. The present excavations are ongoing according to the scientific methods, but Pompeian historical osteological collection underwent through different kind of mistreatments, including unsystematic excavations, disarticulation, poor storage, and lack of documentation. Because of that, it's really important to create this documentation on human osteological collection in Pompeii, because it owns a huge osteological collection and went through different kind of mistreatments. Because of that, we started to document this osteological collection with ethical concerns and minimum intervention. And also we record all the characteristics that including the biological profile, age at death, sex, health status, morphological traits, also behavioral traits including dietary and physical activities, and overall we try to reconstruct the quality of life of the population. And I would like to present some of my preliminary results of this research. I have studied nearly 326 craniums so far with different kind of age ranges. And also we followed some physical anthropological methods for this analysis. And in future, we expect to collaborate with some DNA analysis and for accurate data. And according to these graphs, this sample represent different age ranges, with the maximum representing of 40-45 years of age, but majority of craniums represent the 20 to 45 years at death. And when we consider about the male and female, like sexual demography, dimorphism, and there's no any huge difference between male and female. But still, we have to remember the fact that, in fact, an child remains might suffer from innumeration due to the unsystematic excavation at the time of the early period. And the urban environment in Pompeii is very unique because of this populated urban area and also the occupation as a port city. The highly populated area and the hygienic condition which may bring different kind of diseases to the city. So previous researchers identified different kind of health implications, but in this study, we could be able to recognize new health implications, including porotic hyperostosis, different kind of infectious diseases, tumors, traumas, genetic conditions, craniosynostosis. And among these craniums, these two are really significant. I would like to present here. This cranium is, we presume, probably the possible case of leprosy. So because of this individual of 50 to 55 years of age, and with this perforation in the nasal, hard palate, and maxilla, shows the rhinomaxillary syndrome or the facies leprosa, which is characteristic of lepromatous leprosa. But unfortunately, we have only this cranium, and his postcranial part is missing, and we have no idea that where he was found. Because of that, we are going to do some biomolecular analysis and to confirm this pathological condition. If we can be able to confirm this pathological condition, so it will be the very first leprosy case record from Vesuvius site, and it will be one of the earliest leprosy case record from Italy. And the second one, the female individual, the middle-aged female individual with the giant osteoma in the parietal part, and because this kind of very giant osteoma cases have been recorded rarely in archaeological context, so we were lucky to find this individual with this osteoma, and which is also important for the average lifespan in Roman period, and also to the appearance of bone tumors, because previously the researchers who study these pathological conditions, they mentioned like most of these tumors were not found because of the average lifespan in Roman period. But this example is this case is an example for this average lifespan in Roman period, and also for the appearance of tumors. And I also recorded antemortem, perimortem, and postmortem traumas. Most of the antemortem traumas are well-healed, depressed traumas, and we have an nasal trauma with an infection and few of sharp force traumas. And also we have a possible case of surgical intervention, and also we can expect this kind of conditions because highly develop equipment and medical knowledge during the time of Roman period, and in the equipment that we found from the Pompeii. And when we consider about the perimortem traumas, because this eruption in 79 AD are characteristics by seismic activities and also the major earthquakes, so we can expect this kind of modifications during this kind of this period, especially crushing, opening, and compressing, and also due to the collapsing of structures and roofs. And there are some of the dental traumas, especially removing the crown and also tooth cracks. And also, of course, we have some post-mortem modifications due to unsystematic excavations and mistakes during studies, and also victims by biological agents. So in this slide, we can see this nasal trauma, which was complicated by this infection, and so this caused to this misaligned nasal bone. And this is one of the example for a possible perimortem trauma that I found during the study, which has this linear cracks and opening of the sagittal and the coronal sutures, and also accompanied by these stellata fractures in the parietal eminence. So we hope it's according to these different kind of fractures and the pattern of the fractures, we assume that it's a possible case of perimortem trauma. And I recorded non-metric traits, and this chart represents some of the uncommon and rare non-metric traits I have recorded during the study. And these kind of cranial traits and dental traits are really important for recognizing interpopulation variations, and also homogeneity and also the heterogeneity of the population. For the discussion, I have studied this collection, and I recorded all these traits and every biological and the behavioral aspect in this database, and we recorded every number which already mentioned by previous researchers, but we didn't make any intervention, and instead of that we made a complete recording, and so it will be the very first in detail documentation on skull remains which are stored in warehouses in Pompeii. And also we evaluate all these craniums, and we could be able to recognize these new health implications, and we recognize all the individual, and also we wanted to give them the identity for each and every cranium. And also we have the aspects of preservation. After me, also the future researchers, when they come to study this collection, so they have the accessibility and also the order and the catalog for their future studies. And also we are expecting to do some further studies. For an example, there's a high prevalence of the condition called hyperostosis frontalis intera. So it's for the population study, it's really rare case for this kind of high prevalence of cases of this condition. So we are expecting to expand this study to experiment that if there are some other reasons behind these conditions, like because the environmental factors are really really significant for this area because of this volcano and the surrounding area, which may cause short and long-term health conditions. So we are expecting to do some further studies like that, and also for the future aspects and this the study will going through the isotope analysis. Significantly, we will expect to do some human animal data analysis for the recognizing the subsystem patterns and the dietary behaviors of this population. Thank you for the attention.